Ready? So have a good day, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are. So this is the October instance of our monthly OpenLineage meeting. And so as a reminder, this meeting is recorded and archived on the LFA and Data website. So don't say anything you may regret later while on this meeting. And we start with the usual roll call. So we do a quick round of introduction. So I'll call people in the order they show up on my screen. And so just please quickly state your name, why you're here, and what if there's any topic you're interested in being, you have questions or something you want us to talk about in this meeting, please state it. And if you just wanted to sit back and, watch the meeting, that's also fine. You don't feel like you have to have something to talk about. So I'll start with welcome Sherry.
It helps if I unmute. Hi, I'm Sherry Cabral. I am a product manager for technical lineage at Calibra, which is a data governance tool. And I'm just here to keep tabs with what's going on in the OpenLineage world. I don't have any particular questions or feedback this time around.
Thank you. Next on my screen is Howard.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Howard Yu. I'm a staff product manager in Astronomer. I've been really interested in working in the OpenLineage kind of an area. So I'm pretty excited to be here.
Next is Michael.
Hi, everyone. Michael Robinson. I'm on the community team at Astronomer, and I'm here because I love OpenLineage and also because I coordinate these meetings.
Harel.
Hi, everyone. My name is Harel. I'm an engineering director on the observability team as part of Astronomer. I'm here today to talk a bit about the roadmap of what we at Astronomer are planning to contribute to OpenLineage over the next couple of months, and listen and hear about what other people are interested in. And generally, yes, I love OpenLineage, same as Howard.
Peter.
Hi, my name is Petr Hájek. I work for Manta. Manta is a data lineage software, and we are building connectors to OpenLineage producers. And basically, I'm interested in anything what happens, around OpenLineage.
Nice. Next is Michael Collado.
Hey, Michael Collado. I am a staff software engineer at Astronomer, and I'm a contributor to OpenLineage and to Marquez.
Maciej.
Hello, I'm Maciej. I'm software engineer at Getting Data and OpenLineage committer. And today I'm just here to listen.
Tomasz.
Hi, Tomasz here, also data engineer at Getting Data, my first community meeting, and also here just to listen.
Minkyu.
Hi, I'm Minkyu, and I'm a software engineer at Astronomer and also a contributor of Marquez and OpenLineage, and I'm here because I love OpenLineage. Yeah.
And last, there's me. I'm Julien. I'm the project lead for OpenLineage, and yes, I love all about it. So next slide we have So just a quick reminder, the way we communicate. So, following up in between meetings is usually on Slack. That's the best way to communicate. There's some announcements that go on the meeting list, and notes for this meeting go on the wiki, and we usually post about releases and interesting things about the project on the other channels. On the YouTube channel as also the recordings for this meeting. And so we'll start with, for the agenda today, we'll start with the announcements. So we shall be talking about, and then Michael Robinson will talk about their recent release and what's new in it. Harel will talk about the roadmap, as he mentioned. And then Howard will talk about the Jupyter and Spark notebook that demos the column lineage. And then we finish with an open discussion if there's any open items. So some announcements of important information. And please, for people on the call, if you want to add some details, feel free to add to what I'm going to be saying. So we recently removed support for Airflow 1.x in the Airflow integration. As Airflow has been on the 2.x branch for a while now, it's become harder and harder to maintain those different code paths, and Airflow 1.x is used less. So moving forward, newer version of OpenLineage, we focus on the 2.x branch. Ross gave a talk about OpenLineage on the Apache Con in New Orleans last week, and was very well received. I don't know if it's going to be available online, but there's lots of interest in that community. There's some upcoming opportunities to talk about OpenLineage if people on that call are interested in submitting or talking about it, and you're very welcome. So there's an upcoming Data Team Summit, Subsurface Live, Data Console Austins are some of recent. So those dates are about the call for papers or call for abstracts is still open at the moment. So if you're interested in proposing something, now is a good time. And if you want to talk about data lineage, you can ping Michael Robinson on this call, Slack us to let us know. And if you want to present in this meeting as well, please chime in. Any more details someone wanted to share about this? Nope. Okay. So on that, I'll pass it on to Michael to talk about the recent releases.
Okay, thank you. So this release 15.1, we did it on October 10th. It was pretty heavy on fixes, but there were some key additions and a change that I wanted to share with you as well. In the Airflow integration, we added a new developer environment and improved the integration testing. There were some additions to the docs, specifically a new integration template, new updated issue templates. In the Spark integration, we have enhanced documentation, and for clarity, we changed the overwrite name to app name. In the Airflow integration, we're now lazy loading the BigQuery client, which results in a big efficiency improvement, decreasing the DAG import time. Among the fixes, this was heavy on fixes, but just want to highlight a couple or a few for you. We fixed column lineage. We also changed the resource allocation for the macOS release package, which was creating a problem in the build. Wanted to just give a shout out to some new contributors to the project for some fixes in this release. Varuntastas, welcome. Hope I'm not butchering your username too horribly. And Lukash, for another fix. For more bug fixes and details, as always, check out the changelog. And that's it.
Thank you, Michael. Is there any questions about the release? Then I'll move on to Harel and talking about what Astronomer is planning to contribute to OpenLineage.
Thanks, Julien. All right, so basically, obviously, I'm only talking about the scope of the project roadmap for what Astronomer is planning to contribute. We're definitely this is not exhaustive of what the OpenLineage community is doing, so I'm really looking forward to hear feedback from what people are more interested in, maybe in collaborating on. So really looking forward to that. So I'll start off maybe by saying a few words. So Astronomer is a modern data orchestration company. And so as that, we care deeply about airflow and making airflow experiences very delightful for the users in the open source and in our proprietary commercial product. And so with that in mind, we are pretty heavily invested in contributing contributing to the integration between Airflow and OpenLineage and making Airflow play very nicely with OpenLineage and kind of incorporating a lot of the core concepts of Airflow and OpenLineage. And so as part of that, we've been working pretty heavily with the Airflow community on basically being able to just natively integrate lineage and operators in Airflow, and also be able to track DAGs, which is currently a concept that is not handled natively in the OpenLineage model. And so currently in Airflow, we kind of have the notion of a task. And so we would like to be able to group things as the same way as the Airflow abstraction is doing so. So be able to track things at the DAG level. And then secondly, and just to call out a few names here. So we have Maciej on the call, and there's Jakub from the Getting Data team who have been working on that together with Ash from the Airflow team. So just wanted to say thank you for the work that you've been doing there. Then secondly, so we have, I see data catalog faces on the call, which is great for the next item here, right? Because we really want to basically lean in on our community here of consumers of OpenLineage data, right? Like this product is as successful as the people who are participating in the project, right? And so one of our goals is to increase the adoption of OpenLineage consumers, specifically collaborate with data catalogs. And so really looking forward to having more conversations. Obviously, we've had conversations with Manta previously, so looking forward to see the results of that. But there are more, and so really looking forward to see what's happening there. Then secondly, so we discussed a bit on the consumer side. So also event producers, right? So as far as OpenLineage goes, we care a lot about our coverage of tooling in the ecosystem. And so one thing we would like to do is increase our support for Snowflake access history by adding things like facets that are able to capture Snowflake tags. This will also position us well as a Snowflake metadata partner, and we would like to continue that collaboration with the Snowflake team as well. We also want to capture more data quality frameworks as they are available in the wild. So Great Expectations is kind of already there, and there are conversations also with a few other data quality companies to make basically to be able to capture their data natively in the OpenLineage spec. And then on that, one thing that we haven't thought about enough just yet, and we feel might be a good time to start thinking about is kind of like consumers of data, right? So if we think about the BI layer, for example, if we think about machine learning processing engines, what value they could get and they could benefit from consuming OpenLineage events to optimize some of the processing there. So hello, Matej's cat. By the way, Matej's cat is a very active contributor. He walks on the keyboard, and I'm sure there have been a few characters committed to OpenLineage from your cat. So thank you for all your contributions. Continuing on, so we started experimenting with a Flink integration, and I think there's potential there, but there's definitely a lot more work that can be done. So we want to continue experimenting with making a Flink integration possible with OpenLineage, slightly more nuanced as we think about streaming data and how to capture that within the OpenLineage model. So looking forward to more conversations with the community there. And last but not least, we've seen great progress, mostly driven by Pavel, who is not on the call today, on the column level lineage support for Spark, but we would like to increase that support for SQL operators and kind of see column level lineage across the board from all the different integrations. So I'll kind of leave it at that. There's definitely more details here, but mostly wanted to give a sort of high-level overview of what we are currently thinking of, and really would love to hear from the rest in the discussion section. So thank you for the opportunity to speak with this forum. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.
Thank you, Harel. So just any question on this before I move to the next topic? Thank you. And so now I'll give it back to Howard to talk about the column lineage workshop. Howard, do you want the screen?
Yes, please.
So I'll stop sharing.
Okay, thank you. I'll show my desktop. Okay. So I think one of the very important aspects about community, and especially a successful, healthy community, is its ability to share knowledges and how-tos, provide examples, help users to generally troubleshoot and use this technology to in many of the purposes. And I think this kind of is sort of aligned in how we could better preach or teach community users about the open lineages and how it's used. Recently, Pavel from the Getting Data team has contributed this, and since he's not available today, I'm actually here to just merely act on his behalf to kind of show this to you guys. So in the OpenLineage GitHub website, we do have a place called the workshops. And in this workshops are, several workshops here, but well, the thing that I really wanted to kind of showcase here today is about the Spark and column level lineage kind of tutorials or Jupyter notebooks on the Spark. So if you kind of click here, you will see some of the examples of, the introductions of what this is about. It's about OpenLineage with Jupyter and Spark. It's a simple yet very interactive kind of a way for you to learn and also see the column level lineage in action by using Jupyter notebooks. And I'm sure that in the future, we'll have more and more cases like this, where the Jupyter notebooks will be used to illustrate how the technology works in many other use cases as well. But just for this part, this is the Jupyter and Spark. It has all the necessary instructions for you to just read and go along and install your Dockers, Git, and the workshop files that's related. And also there is a documentation about it in a quick start with Jupyter in our OpenLineage doc, which actually does handle how you can run up the compose and use the notebooks to run Spark related open column lineage examples. So with that, if you have a console and have everything set up, it's actually pretty simple. I'm actually running a Marquez. This is actually the most recent version of the Marquez that can build and run from the GitHub. Our current release doesn't really have a fully functioning OpenLineage yet. So you actually have to build and run the Marquez in order to see it. But let's just say that you have done so, and it's actually quite easy. All you need to do is run Docker compose up to start your notebook. So the Jupyter notebook is something that you can run in your Docker environment, where each time you run, you will have this token that you will be able to log into the Jupyter notebook environment. And this is kind of pre-configured, like details in the docs. But what happened is that there are folders in the Jupyter, and you're supposed to copy the file that is inside the workspace. This one. This is actually the Jupyter notebook file. You have to download it, but you can drag and drop into this part. Make sure that you are doing it in the notebook directory, right? So you drag and drop this lineage October 22nd, 22 edition. And when you upload it, it goes on pretty quickly. So click, and you will see a column level lineage demo that Powell has written, which is actually very interactive. So here, the first section is all about the environment setups, but the next will give you a simple scripts that will check whether the Marquez endpoint, which is running here, is actually active and running. So we can actually run that. The Marquez is running fine. So right from there, you can actually be very interactive in making sure you are communicating with the Marquez API from within this notebook. And then you go ahead and create the working directory, which is under the notebook Spark warehouse. And then when the Marquez connection is okay, you can actually start the Spark session right from here. And the source code is right there. So you don't really have to run anything that's outside of this notebook. All the notebooks are pre-interactive. And when you see this, this means that the Spark is actually ready. You can actually see in the console here. And then next one is to run the delete. If there is any previous work existing, there's none. And also start creating the Spark data frame here. There's a sample data frame in the column, right? And there's a series of Spark SQL that is going to be executed. So when you kind of run it, this is going to be running. And then you can actually see the Marquez receiving OpenLineage data from our Spark samples here, so that the Marquez will have the data populated, and hence the column level lineage related data as well. So very interactive. Just go through this, and while you're going through this, not only you can kind of see something in action, but also can understand how our APIs work, right? So this is just a request, getting this data set. Data set is fine, and then you'll be able to also run this, and then eventually, run this and get the column level lineages displayed here. So a little bit of a hiccup, I'm afraid, but what happens is that when you run these column level lineage API calls, you actually get something like this, which is actually the JSON message payload of the column lineage. So not only this will give you a really nice way for you to exercise, you can modify the notebook and try other things, but very illustrative of how the some of the features that we currently have on the column lineage can be exercised very well. So this is all I have prepared for this session, but as you can see, this is something that we are going to be promoting very much, because not only the column level lineages, we have other kind of examples that can be really well suited for running on top of the Jupyter notebook. I think this is really a nice way to kind of illustrate the technology as well. So, this is just a start. And if you are interested in contributing and adding more of your very own Jupyter notebook that can be shared within the community, please, open up a PR and submit it. We'll be more than happy to make your Jupyter Notebook as part of our workshops too. So with that said, I hope this was informational and benefit. Any questions from anybody? Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll stop sharing my screen. And thank you for listening. All the works are credited to Powell, who's not here, unfortunately, but he's one of the great contributors to our project, and would like to thank him for providing the community with all the works. So kudos to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Howard.
Thank you.
And so on that, we are to our open discussion part of the meeting. So if there's no extra question or topic today, we can end earlier the meeting, but otherwise this is open. Is there anything on your mind you wanted to, like, since this is the opportunity to get first time in quick answers? Otherwise, thank you all very much for your presentation and sharing. As a reminder, the notes in the recording will be posted on the LFN Data Wiki, and so for people who missed the meeting, they can see it there. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
See you, folks.
Bye.